Good morning, guys. This morning I thought we'd do a walkthrough of the White Light Oracle by Alana Fairchild. This Oracle deck came in the June Witch's Moon box, which was a really nice surprise. It's always great to get decks when you open the boxes. This one came as part of a shadow themed type box this month, so yeah, it's be interesting to learn a little bit more about this deck. On the front says, enter the luminous heart of the sacred. And on the back, it says, you have a light within you. Trust in that light and in your own courage. The light is strong enough to guide, support, and empower you to fulfill your sacred purpose of healing and soul manifestation. White light holds all the frequencies needed for healing ourselves, each other, our planet, and all her precious creatures. It is a divine medicine for the soul, empowering the heart, clarifying the mind, and awakening higher consciousness. The light is within you and all around you. You were born to be that light. The universe rallies to encourage, inspire, and embolden you to manifest your sacred destiny. So it says this 44 card and guidebook set features luminous imagery from visionary artist Andrew Gonzalez and enlightening messages with signature healing processes from best-selling author Alana Fairchild to help you integrate the loving soul medicine of white light. Take your journey with complete trust. Enjoy the divine beauty of your path, and knowing light is always with you, revealing the way. Which is quite nice. We need a lot of light. Today is the winter solstice, so it is our shortest day. So light is very much welcome today. This is apparently a deck that's based on sculptured artwork. So a nice two-part box. Comes with a really big book. So quite a thick book. And it's got the oracle cards and quite a lot of info about the card, including healing process as well. So a good couple of pages of information, which is really helpful. It goes all the way up to the back about the author and the artist. They have a table of contents. Yep. Well, which is easy when you need to flip through. Introduction. And the story behind it. So yeah, really interesting guidebook. And put that over there. And pick up the cards. So these are the size, reasonably meaty in the palm of my hand. These are the backs, beautiful wolf. The cardstock's nice and thick. And let's have a look. Magnetism of Eros. I'm not going to be able to say half of these probably by the looks of it. So you've got that couple, you know, with Eros being the man of love. Cupio de Solvi. So it looks like out of the heart chakra there. I'm not even going to attempt to say half of these because I'm going to say them so wrong. I like that, how she's just seemed to be bathed in that. Almost like angel wings in a way, even though it's like a hair. But it looks really comforting. So they do definitely have that sculptured look. Almost like they were photographs of sculptures. Some do, some don't. This one looks a lot more fluid. Blessings of Eve. Snake. So there is a lot going on in these that you can take from. You can really focus and get a number of images out of the actual card itself. So each will have their own story and healing that goes with each card. But we can draw one at the end and have a closer look and see a little bit more about it and how it's put together. Our past. A beautiful Egyptian cat goddess. It's interesting what the numbers mean down here and what relevance that has. It must be on some sort of energetic measured scale, perhaps. I'm not entirely sure. That's pure assumption. Spirit Bear. If you know me, I am a sucker for bears, so this card is just beautiful. I do love bears. Like feathers coming off them there. Gorgeous. The sun. Wrapped up in that warmth. And you've got just enough colour to get that vibe from it too. Tantra. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? Looks a bit interesting. Some union or connection happening there. So you've got a mixture between people, images and animals by the look of it. You've got the owl. They've got these beautiful sepia tones to it. So they're not in your face colours either, they're actually just really nice and gentle to look at, which is quite nice. Wolf. Same on the back. Even though I don't really understand much of the names down the bottom, I think it'll be really interesting to learn the meaning behind that. I do think they're really neat cards. You know, they're interesting. And that I find them quite intriguing. And that was my first reaction as I thought I was quite intrigued by them and thought, oh, this is, you've not seen an oracle quite like this before. This was also the card that came in the Witch's Moon box for June as my card of the month. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting to learn a little bit more. I think this is quite a new oracle deck from what I understand as well. I think it's been out that long. I know this author's done others. I can't think off the top of my head what they were. but I believe this one is reasonably new to the market. I like how the light's represented. This one seems quite fitting for today. That lovely bright warmth returning to the world. Even though I know for those of you in the north, you're at the peak of summer. I love the different patterns that are weaved into her hair. Because like I said before, you can get lost in those patterns and different things can come through them. This looks like a phoenix in that one. And a lion. So those are all the cards. So maybe we could pull one. I'm a terrible shuffler, please forgive me. And just maybe have a little bit a look in the book about what that one means and get a bit of an idea. Alright, cut it. What have we got? Perfume of Sophia. So we'll go with that one. She's number 12. And the good old table of contents is going to tell us exactly where that is. Page 89. Page 89. Here we are. Perfume of Sophia. You'll be able to sense the best timing and approach to take to create shape for healing and resolution. Connect to your body and ground yourself in the here and now with body-friendly practices. You will find your way intuitively and instinctively, even though confusing circumstances where one moment you are sure the answer is no, and the next moment you are sure it is yes. Give up trying to figure the answer out right now and remain open with positive but relaxed expectation that clarity shall emerge spontaneously according to divine timing. Trust that your questions about life will be answered. Even now you are in the process of working your way toward the answers that will bring you clarity and higher understanding. There is a kindness in how the universe delivers a message. There is a story of 3 rabbis who went into a room and saw God. One rabbi dropped dead, the other went crazy, and the third one became enlightened. It was the same room and the same divine presence, so what accounts for the different outcomes? When we are ready for knowledge, divine guidance is incredibly helpful in healing. However, we may need certain experiences to become ready. There is much grace in veiling a truth as in revealing it. There is a beautiful Sufi teaching that destiny is granted with compassion. There is a time to prepare for knowledge and a time to receive it and a time to live it. There is danger in trying to force knowledge, forces a desire to progress faster than is naturally taking place. It is a disconnection from natural rhythms and the sacred feminine, the power of knowing and divine timing. The oracle of the perfume of Sophia asks you to trust your nose. The spiritual symbolism, the ability to smell, is the capacity for discernment. In the words of Juliet in Romeo and Juliet, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. The nose knows. As you lean into natural timing, rather than trying to force something to happen, you'll remain connected to your own ground of being. You won't be pushing to get ahead. You'll be in connection with yourself. You'll be able to sense with your body and soul that which might otherwise confuse your mind, with its tendency to argue first one way, then the other. You will instinctively sniff out the truth of a situation. Then you shall be able to do something useful with that knowledge. Developing the practice required to see us through times when we cannot know something with trust and hopefully some equanimity is an important part of our soul journey. If such times evoke fearful and negative predictions or anxiety-based or lack of belief that you can deal with whatever arises with grace and dignity, then work on those issues. Do what you can do now. Leave everything else up to the loving and wise workings of the universe. If you are pushing for a resolution, an answer, an understanding before it's time for you to know, you'll feel frustrated. It will be more constructive and enjoyable for you to engage with what is. Will it require the development of your character, the capacity for patience, for trust and faith, for commitment and devotion, even when there is no evidence you shall succeed? Yes, likely it shall, especially if you are carving a path that is unique and creative. To live in such a way is wonderfully courageous and inspired and requires spiritual maturity. Aligning yourself with a greater wisdom and timing and surrendering yourself in its service is the basis of spiritual maturity. You will have your answers, and in the interim, you are doing beautifully. Continue with your journey. So that was a bit about that. And then it goes on to talk about the healing process. What can you do to connect with your body, feel good, and ground and focus your energies in the here and now? Some examples might be walking in nature, doing some stretches or a full yoga practice, meditating or breathing, and relaxation techniques. When you can do that for yourself, make a plan to do it and stick to it. If there is something constructive that you can do right now, such as some deep centered breath awareness or other form of meditation or conscious movement, do that now. That is your healing process. So that was about the lovely perfume of Sophia. So it was basically trust your nose or trust your gut, and don't push for the answers to come. That will come in their own time, and don't get frustrated over the waiting. This is essentially what that card was saying in that lovely description there. So that made it far more able to understand. What I will be interested to know before we do go is, say, for example, how it's got the numbers. So if we find the Sun, which now that I put it all out of order, I'm not going to, so it might be easy just to find the card first. Oh, look, and there it is. What are the odds? And then you lose your place in the book. Where is it now? Yep. So, how it had the number. So without reading it all out, a frequency. So the 417 hertz frequency facilitates a healing shift into vibration of the higher self. So it talks about that frequency in line with that card. So if you're wondering about the numbers, that's what it relates to, and there can be more found about the meaning of that number and energy in the book. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that you were able to get some information out of that video. That was the White Light Oracle, and thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you have it and what you think of it. Cool. We'll see you next time.